right, let's jump right in. We've all had our pulse taken, right? You know, a couple fingers on the wrist, a quick count, and you walk away with a number. But what if I told you that simple beat holds an entire complex story about what's really going on inside your heart?
See that little rhythmic thump you feel? It's actually one of the most accessible and powerful clues we have about our health. It's an immediate signal, a direct message coming from your cardiovascular system.
And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to decode that signal. We're going to move way beyond a simple beats per minute count to understand the incredibly rich clinical information that's hiding in every single pulse. So, how do we do that? Well, you got to think like a medical detective. And every good detective has their toolkit, right? When it comes to the pulse, clinicians are essentially trying to answer 4 core questions to build a complete picture of your heart's health. And here they are. First up, how fast is it? That's the rate. Second, is that beat regular? That's the rhythm. Third, how strong does it actually feel? We call that the volume. And finally, maybe the most interesting one, what's the actual shape of the pulse wave? That's its character. Those 4 things, rate, rhythm, volume, and character, that's our roadmap.
Okay, let's start with the first couple of clues, the ones you're probably most familiar with. Rate and rhythm. These are really the fundamentals of the pulse examination.
So first up is the rate. Super simple, right? It's just the number of times your heart beats in a minute. For a healthy adult who's just chilling, that sweet spot is usually somewhere between 60 and 100 beats per minute.
Now, if that number creeps above 100, that's called tachycardia, and you've probably felt this. Think about how your heart pounds when you exercise, or if you're nervous, or maybe you have a fever. On the flip side, if the rate drops below 60, we call that bradycardia. This is pretty common in athletes, but it can also be a sign of something else going on, like hypothyroidism, or even a side effect from certain drugs.
All right, now for rhythm. This one isn't about speed, it's all about consistency. Is the pulse following a steady, predictable pattern? Is the space between each beat, exactly the same? Or is it kind of chaotic and all over the place? I know this slide looks kind of technical, but hang with me. Just focus on the pattern of the waves. See the one on top? It's pretty regular. But now look at that bottom one. It's completely unpredictable. We call this irregularly irregular, which, yeah, sounds a little redundant, but it's the perfect description. And it's the classic sign of a really common condition called atrial fibrillation. This chaotic rhythm isn't just a curiosity. It means the heart isn't pumping efficiently, and it's a major cause of stroke. Okay, so we've got the basics down. Now we're going to level up our investigation. These next 2 clues, volume and character, are a little more subtle, but man, they can reveal so much about the heart's actual mechanical function. Volume is all about the strength of the pulse. How forceful does it feel under your fingers? This gives us a direct clue about the heart's stroke volume. You know, how much blood is getting pushed out with every single pump. So a low volume pulse feels weak. Sometimes doctors describe it as thready, which is such a great word for it. It can be a sign of really serious issues, like shock. In contrast, a high volume or bounding pulse feels super powerful. And you might see that in states like fever, anemia, or even pregnancy, where the heart is just working overtime. And now for what many clinicians would say is the most important clue of them all, and that's character. This isn't about speed or strength. This is about the actual shape of the wave, how it feels as it rises and falls. This is where the real detective work begins. So check this out. On the left, that's your normal pulse wave, a nice, brisk upstroke and then a gentle fall. But look at the one on the right. See how it's kind of sluggish? It takes its sweet time getting to the peak. This is what's called a slow rising pulse. So what's going on here? The best way to think about it is this: narrow door, slow exit. This pulse shape is a classic feature of aortic stenosis. That's where the main valve leading out of the heart has gotten stiff and narrow. The blood is literally struggling to squeeze through that tight doorway, and that's what causes that slow, weak rise in pressure. Now let's look at the complete opposite problem. On the right here, you see the pulse shoots up really fast and then just suddenly drops away. It collapses. This shape is so dramatic, it's known as a collapsing or water hammer pulse. You can just imagine that feeling? And for this one, the analogy is full tank, broken valve. This happens in something called aortic regurgitation, where the heart valve is leaky. So the heart shoves a huge volume of blood out really forcefully. That's the sharp rise. But then the faulty valve doesn't close properly, and blood rushes right back into the heart, causing that sudden collapse in pressure. And then you've got this really specific one called pulsus alternans. It's a pattern where you literally feel a strong beat, then a weak beat, a strong beat, then a weak beat. The way to think of this is as a tired heart. It's a serious sign that the left ventricle is starting to fail and just can't keep up a consistent output with every single beat. I know that was a lot. So here's a quick little cheat sheet to lock it all in. A slow rising pulse points to that narrow valve, aortic stenosis. A collapsing pulse suggests that leaky valve, aortic regurgitation. And that alternating strong and weak pattern, that suggests left ventricular failure. This is a great way to link what you feel to what might actually be happening inside the heart. All right, our investigation is almost complete. We've gathered all our clues: rate, rhythm, volume, and character. The final step for any good detective, of course, is putting it all together to see what story it tells. And this is what that actually sounds like in the real world. A clinician might feel a pulse and think, okay, the pulse is 92 per minute, that's our rate. The rhythm is completely irregularly irregular, that's our big clue, and the volume feels normal. Just by combining those first two findings, the evidence is already pointing strongly towards atrial fibrillation. So to really boil it all down, the rate gives you a window into the heart's electrical system. The rhythm tells you about the stability of that system. Volume gives you a pretty good sense of the stroke volume, and the character, well, the character gives you powerful clues about the health of the heart valves themselves. When you think about it, the pulse is so much more than just a number. It's a dynamic, physical story about how well your heart is working, a story that's being told with every single beat. And that leaves me with one last question for you. You now have the detective's toolkit. You know the 4 core questions. So the next time you feel your own pulse, what clues will you be listening for?